I think maybe it's time to start now that most of the people are in. First, I would like to take a minute to thank Liminal Access and Christos Papa Michael today for accepting this collaboration and their participation for this masterclass. It was very exciting to have them within this project and hopefully in other collaborations. And I also want to thank Christos collaborators who are going to give us their own points of view on today's subject, Olga Daleku and Yanis Vitsos, and also Androniki Xantopoulou, who will be doing the sign language for Olga. And yes, today's masterclass is part of the Sensing project, co-funded by the European Union, together with Ibonis from Spain and Kean from Greece. And we're very happy to have you all participating today. And I would like to pass on to Christos in order to start with today's masterclass.
Hello, everyone. This is Christos. I am a man on my 30s. I am bald and I have a small beard. I'm wearing an Adidas jacket with the white stripes. Thank you all for being here, and especially thank you, Anna and Alternative Brains, for this invitation and all this exchange we already had. I wish and I hope that this is just the beginning. To begin with, I am Christos. I come from Cyprus. I live in Athens. I am an actor and I've done theater studies. And for the last 7 to 8 years, I have been working on inclusion and access to the arts and culture. I'm not really familiar with sharing our practices with wider audiences rather than our colleagues and collaborators, but I am happy to get this opportunity. I hope that we exchange useful informations in order to make sure that everyone feels good and understands what we are sharing here. Please feel safe to write down on the chat or raise your hands to make questions and ask for clarifications. And please try to keep these as informal as possible. I would like to share and not show and present. So I will start by sharing my screen. So what we will have today, I have a very rough schedule that we will try to follow. Next to this, we are going to our collective agreements on the house rules of our meeting today. Then we will allow some time for us to get to know each other better and understand the dynamics and the intelligence that we have in this virtual room. Further on, I will explain some information regarding Liminal Access, the cultural organization that we represent here today. Following to this, we are getting to an introduction to inclusion and access to make sure that we are all on the same page, understanding the language and the terminology that we use. And then we will go to the main body of today's meeting to understand how senses are useful to access and how culture and arts can use these elements, tools, and information in order to expand the practices, to further develop their practices, and how to implement maybe a more democratic and equal practices in the arts and culture. We will share some examples of accessibility solutions that are using or are employing our senses. We will have a short break, of course. If at any time you people feel that you are tired or you are overloaded and it's too much, we can have short breaks whenever you need them. Also, we will get the opportunity to hear and learn more from our colleagues Olga Daleku and Yannis Vitsos, to understand how it is to be living with a sensory disability and experiencing or even working in the arts field. And then we will have time for questions and answers and a bigger discussion on the subjects we will share. Following to this, we will try to sum up what we have shared. So I would like to ask all of us to be focused, to try to listen in order to understand. And I know that a lot of people will think, why is he using the word listen? Yes, we are not afraid of words. And even Olga, in her own way, she will be listening to our meeting today. I would like to ask all of you to participate and not dominate, respect the time of the others, be polite and be respectful, assume best intentions. We would like to have a safe space here in order to make sure that everyone feels safe to share. So please do not judge and try to have understanding or any mistakes that we might make. It would be nice to be here to devote these less than 3 hours that are left in order to be here with us. Try to make good timekeeping and keep your microphones muted when you are not talking in order to avoid any noise. And please raise your hands or use the button on Zoom platform to raise your hand, and or write questions or remarks on the chat. Is this clear? Yes. So now I would like us to take a minute, to all take a minute and share some information on who we are, what we are doing, and please share if you have any expectations or specific questions or things that you would like to examine today. And I go first and I say that I'm Christos. I am an artist and cultural manager working on the field of access and inclusion. And I expect to get to know more people that are interested in this sector or intersection of disability and arts, and maybe to learn more practices that are happening around Europe. And also I'm happy to know some people working on this field in Cyprus. And I will pass it on to Anna.
So I am Anna. I am a cultural producer here at ABR, Alternative Brains Rule in Nicosia. And what I want from today is to learn. I feel that I'm already learning from even the 10 minutes we started this, and I expect to be inspired, but not to intimidate you. I'm kind of be inspired from anything. So this is just an exciting opportunity, I feel, for us to do more and to do better with our events and projects. I would like to pass it on to Olga.
Hello, everybody. So I'm Olga. This is my sign name. I'm Olga. Right now, I'm deaf, as you can see. I have my interpreter sees my voice, sees voice in me, as you can see also. I am an actress. I'm an actress. I work in the theater the last 14 years. I have also a team, a theatrical team of deaf and hearing actors. Right now, I'm also a student at the university here in Athens for the theatrical studies. And I'm working in the theater and sorry. The image was yes. Yeah. I'm working in the theater right now, and I'm working also for the rights for accessibility for persons with different accessibilities. I think that's all. Yeah.
Now we do not have faces, so maybe anyone who likes to go first. Yeah, hello, George.
Hello, I'm George. I am a Cypriot man with long hair and a beard and glasses. I am an artist. I'm a graphic designer. And I'm an environmental activist. I'm currently working at ABR as a production assistant as well. And yes, I'm interested in inclusion, and I feel like environmentalism, which is one of the things that I'm heavily interested in, needs to be more, starts with inclusion. So it's a problem that we all face. And it's something that really interests me to see how all communities can contribute into creating a better world. Yeah.
Thank you, George. Raina? I'm afraid we cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, better.
Okay. I am Raina Melissinu. I am a project manager at KIA. I am here today with a great interest to see all these wonderful things that you will show us. And thank you. And I will ask Dimitra to introduce herself.
Thank you, Raina.
Dimitra, we cannot hear you.
No.
No.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. My name is Dimitra Sofianou. I'm a psychologist, and I have a master in social psychology, and that's why I'm really interested in these topics. And here I'm today to take part in this seminar.
Thank you, Dimitra. Hello, Yorgos.
Hi everyone. Yes, my name is Yorgos Antoniou. I'm also a Cypriot with just classes. I'm a new project manager at APR, Alternative Brain Rule. My expertise or educational background rely mostly on innovation and competitiveness, and I'm mostly interested on social innovation, which is all about inclusive approach, human-centered approaches. So I don't have any specific expectations for this workshop, just to enhance my knowledge on inclusivity. Thank you.
Thank you, Yorgos. Perfect. Marilena. Δεν σε ακούμε, δυστυχώς. We cannot hear you. No, still. Yes.
No.
You can listen to me now, eh?
Yes.
But I can't. Sorry, I have a problem. I have a problem probably with my audio because you can listen to me now, right?
Now we can hear to you.
Perfect,
Nice.
perfect. Yes, so I'm Marilena Stathopoulos. I'm a fashion designer. I focus on sustainability and inclusion throughout my design and first of all, the selection of the material and also the shapes of the patterns that I create in order to be genderless and inclusive. So I'm very interested for this topic today. Thank you.
Nice. Who else would like to introduce him or herself? I see some familiar people here. Stella, Christina, please show up.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. We're very happy to be here along with you. We know Christos and Liminal from a long time ago. We have participated in several projects. My name is Stella. I'm an art historian, but also the past few years we have been focusing on how to make artworks accessible to persons with visual impairment. Tomorrow we are going to hold a masterclass on the sense of touch. So you're all invited to join us and continue the conversation that Christos and his colleagues are about to start today.
Hi, I'm also Christina from Offstream. Hi, Christos, nice to see you. Just a small correction, on Thursday we have our masterclass. So yes, we're very interested to hear Christos today. We're collaborating with him. So yes, hi everyone.
Thank you, Christina. Maria?
Hi, my name is Maria, and I'm at home sick, so I apologize for not turning on my camera. I'm a non-formal education trainer and a project administrator for Friends of the Earth Cyprus. And I try and use arts in my work, but I also enjoy it in my daily life. I find it very necessary. Yeah, and when I saw the masterclass being about more than one senses, I was intrigued. So I thought that I should take part in this. Thank you.
Nice, Maria, thank you.
Go, Yanni, I think.
Hi, I guess you can hear me now, and probably you can also see me. Hello.
Yes.
Okay. So, hi everyone, my name is Yannis. This is my sign name. And I am a 22-year-old. My pronouns are he and him, and I study journalism. I also sing non-professionally, sometimes at concerts. So that's how I do art sometimes. And I'm really happy to be here. And I expect to learn more about inclusivity in art. And also, I'll be really glad to share my own experience, as I've been legally blind since I was 6 months old. So yeah, I'm really glad to be here.
Thank you, Yanni. Do we have anyone else who would like to share to say hello?
Hello, my name is Ilya. I'm from Cyprus and I'm a student in London. I do history and French, and I don't really have any expectations from the meeting. I was just interested to hear what you have to say, and thank you.
Perfect, Ilya, thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Chrysselia. I'm from Cyprus. I'm currently completing my Master in Arts and Cultural Management in France. So I'm just very curious about culture and inclusion, and I'm just a sponge at the moment, trying to absorb everything I can.
Perfect. Thank you, Chrysselia. May I ask if we are all Greek or Cypriot? Or do we have any non-Greek speakers here? Anna?
No, I think probably we're all Greek speakers.
Would it be nice to switch to Greek, or we have any implications for the English, for the recording?
It's better if we stay in English in case someone comes in who is because I'm expecting some people.
Okay, yes, sure.
Yeah.
Sure, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for sharing, for introducing yourselves. I will go on with a short presentation of what we do here at Liminal. Allow me again to share my screen. So Liminal was initiated in 2016, and our aim is to promote and foster the right conditions for inclusion and equal access to arts and culture. I don't know if you are familiar with the terminology of liminality and liminal. Liminal means a threshold. It usually describes ritualistic events and ceremonies. And the whole idea for using this name is that we want to create some, I will not say bubble, but I would say environments that the natural or physical laws are not on charge. And we believe that this is what happens when we experience art. And one of our missions is to eliminate barriers in enjoying or creating or interacting with arts and culture. We have our four main pillars now. It used to be the three first. Now it's four. We work on education. I will elaborate a bit later on accessibility by providing accessibility services. and productions or collaborations and co-productions of works of art, and research and development and other collaborations. Here now on the slide, besides the text that I'm going to share, we have a picture of a guy. He's Partho Borming, he's from India, and he's supporting Anna, who is a blind person, to take a picture with her iPhone. It's a screenshot from one of our workshops. I will mention it later on. It was called Clickable. And on the section of inclusive artistic education, we try to offer several opportunities for mixed groups. And by mixed groups, I mean people with and without disabilities. Usually we work with adults and not children or teenagers. But in our groups, in our classes, you can meet Olga and Yannis. You can meet someone which is a person with Down syndrome or autistic, and you can also meet people without disabilities, regardless of experience or other characteristics. What we are aiming to achieve by these classes is to inspire people, first to inspire people with disabilities to engage more with the arts, and hopefully we would like to support and be part of the creation of disabled artists. We would love to see our students to be the disabled artists of tomorrow in the Greek sector. And also for this sector, we also work a lot with trainers and the teachers in order to adjust their teachings and the information that they share to the characteristics of the group, of each member. And the aim is to make sure that everyone who participates in these classes gets equally and with dignity the same information as the non-disabled people. Next, again on the education sector, we do trainings for cultural managers and audiovisual translators. We work with cultural organizations, and we, let's say, similar to what we are doing today, we train them or we support them. But it's better to say that we support them, and we give them guidelines on how to improve accessibility and inclusion within their organizations, and how to embed these ideas and let's say principles in their practices. Also on the section with the audiovisual translators, we provide audio description lessons and seminars, and SDH subtitling for the deaf and hard of hearing. If anything is not clear or you have any questions regarding the terminology I'm using, please feel free to raise your hand and ask for it. So through our educational programs, it seems that we annually have more than 100 participants in our workshops, even if it's seminars or long-term classes like dance class, like a dance class we have that runs for the whole season, let's say from September to June. We have already completed more than 900 teaching hours, inclusive teaching hours, let's say, and we have collaborated with trainers and educators and artists, which I think now we are more than 30. Next to this is accessibility services. which is a subject that we will tackle a lot today. In general, I will return to this quote, let's say, to this sentence a lot of times today. Accessibility is nothing more than transferring information from one sensory channel to another. So, and this has a lot to do with our subject. Now we are observing also Androniki. Androniki is the interpreter of Olga. How Androniki is transferring what is heard, what I am saying, to a visual element, which is sign language interpretation. So we do offer accessibility services, and one of it is sign language interpretation for shows, events, videos, and even workshops or conferences. Sign language is the natural language of the deaf and hard of hearing communities. I think a fun fact that we would like to share is that sign language is not the same in every language, in every country. I have noticed that it's not even the same in every city. And it's a very interesting language. I haven't yet learned it. I'm not a speaker of sign language, a user of sign language, but I'm getting there. So subtitling for the deaf and hard of hearing, it's another service. It's very similar to what we are familiar with, like subtitles in foreign movies, especially in Greece and Cyprus. We are very used to it. We do not dub the movies, we subtitle them. But this involves more elements, shares more elements to support the deaf and hard of hearing people to get the equal information that are being shared in a movie. Usually this extra information is that we have, we designate, we show who is the speaker. So it might be when I am speaking, it should be Christos, and then what I'm saying, or even you can separate and show who is the speaker or the speakers by using colors for each speaker. Also, these subtitles offer information and descriptions, let's say, on soundscapes, on the music of the movie or the theater play. And I would like here to note that it might seem very technical, but it needs a lot of practice and effort, and of course it needs a lot of trial and error, and make sure that what you are creating is useful for a deaf person. Because imagine that we are the hearing people, we are very used to read, let's say, to understand the sound language, the language of the music. So we have seen a lot of movies, advertisements. We have grown up by using these sounds even in our verbal discussions. So imagine that when we are hearing in a movie the door that is creaking, or a very slow noise, then we might get ready that something horrifying or terrible or something scary will come. The question now on SDH subtitles is, how do you transfer this information, which is not now what I want to highlight is not only a technical information, it's a language of the cinema. It's the use of sound and the music elements in order to serve dramaturgy, let's say, or in order to create feelings. So how can you translate this language? I move on to audio description. Audio description is doing exactly, let's say, the opposite. Is sharing the visual elements to sound. So we try to describe and share verbally or written descriptions of all the visual elements, or maybe all the necessary visual elements. Again, is a very hard job and a very heavy duty, let's say, to choose and say that I will describe this. I will say that Christos is bald, but I will not say that his eyebrows are very thick and big. So how do you make these choices, and why, and which are the words that allows you to continue being interesting, inspiring, and comprehensive, let's say, easy to understand, because we are referring to audiences that are not so personalized. Everyone that uses these services has his or her own likes or dislikes and ways of interacting with works of art. Alongside with all these accessibility services, we are of course taking care on this, that we say, accessibility chain. How do the disabled audience will hear and get informed and then get invited to these shows or events or projects? And how are they going to arrive to the venue if it's a physical event? And which will be the right terminology and phrasing to use, and how to create, let's say, an accessible and not discriminating ticketing services, or maybe some supporting documents in Braille when you have audio description, or a sign language trailer to invite people to a project or a venue or an event. And also audio description has a service, let's say, I guess, on tactility. You will discuss more on the upcoming next masterclass, but touch tour for audio description is usually one of the most crucial supportive services for audio description, and Yannis probably will share more information on his experiences by touch tour combined with audio description. Touch tour is when we allow the blind audience to get on stage, touch the costumes, touch the scenography or the props, talk with the actors, and make sure that when someone hears that Anna is sitting on the throne, to make sure that the throne, even though if it's described again, it's something that someone is familiar with, and you know the distance. And I will share the one information that a blind woman shared with us after our last touch tour, and I never thought about it. She said that it was very useful because every time I go to theater and I hear to audio description, I don't know where to look. She said that she was feeling nervous because she could be able to hear that the actor is heading towards the kitchen, but she wasn't sure where to look. That the kitchen, she was feeling nervous that she will be looking on the other direction than the rest of the audience. But touch tour, after the touch tour, she said, I was very confident on where to look. I had no stress on this because I knew that the kitchen was there, the piano was there. So usually when we do these services, the audience reacts and gives some information that we never thought about. And last on our services is the productions. We do produce our own works. Here now on the slide, we have a picture from interview. I will share a video after this it was our first universally accessible production, let's say. And by universally accessible, I mean that it combines all the services that I referred to, and it's for everyone. It's not segmenting. It's not for someone who is disabled only. It's for disabled and non-disabled audience at the same time. And we usually work with inclusive teams. So our productions are made by and with artists with and without disabilities. And this is a way also to, again, promote artists with disabilities. We try to do this as much as we want to provide opportunities for a professional, let's say, working experience, professional experience towards artists with disabilities. Through all this year, we have presented shows to more than 10,000 audience members with and without disabilities. We have provided accessibility services to more than 100 shows and events. And we have already conducted eight inclusive and accessible productions. And let me check the time. Okay, we are good, I think. I would like now to share some videos with you. Anna, we are good on time, no? Okay, sorry. So this is one of our, let's say, flagship workshops, inclusive trainings. It's called Open Days. It was firstly done on 2017. And one of the main reasons that we created this workshop, this 2 days event, it was that in Greece, there used to be a law forbidding disabled artists, disabled people to study theater and drama. Actually, the law was stating that you have to be good looking and able-bodied to study drama. This law has been evolved. It's not on anymore, even though the drama schools are not accessible and are not inclusive yet, but we still have this discriminating law in Greece for the dance schools. Even though we have a deaf dancer that managed to graduate from the National Dance School. So I'm sharing this video. Yanni, it depicts some elements of some parts of the training. Sorry for not being accessible to you with this video. I can give you some private audio description later on. And I will fast go to the next video. It's the performance interview, the first universally accessible performance we've done back in 2017. Thank you for watching and listening. I hope it wasn't too much. I would like to showcase. I will show 3 minutes of a short movie by the Bus Stop Film Productions from Australia. It's in English. It's not the whole movie. I will share the link on the chat if you want to watch it later. But I want to show you something that combines SDH subtitles in English and audio description, and it is also inclusive. Anyone who is interested in cinema or working on the film industry, I strongly recommend to check out the Bus Stop Film Productions in Australia.
A sliding advertising panel on a city bus stop changes its display to the logo for Bus Stop Films, inclusive filmmaking. A man holding a briefcase inhales deeply. The interviewer. Lift doors open and the man, who's in his 30s, straightens his grey tie and steps out into a sleek reception area. There's a woman sitting at a desk adorned with an expensive floral arrangement, and she looks up and smiles.
Hi, Thomas Howe. I'm here for the interview with Mr. Dexter.
Yeah, sure thing. Just take a seat and he'll be out in a minute.
Thomas sits on an armchair in the nearby waiting area and glances out the window for a moment before taking a folder from his briefcase. Another young man in a suit is sitting opposite him, toying with an MP3 player.
Relaxation session 32. Shake off your nervous energy and think about your special place of calm and let all anxiety waste away.
Thomas frowns.
Reach out now and touch something in your special place. Breathe in positivity and breathe out all that nasty anxiety.
Raising his eyebrows, Thomas returns to his folder. He doesn't notice a man with Down syndrome walking towards him. The man, who's wearing a black suit with a colourful striped tie, consults a file and peers at Thomas.
Hi, Mr. How is it?
Yes?
Great. I'm James. Please come with me for your interview.
9 a.m.?
You have the interview at 9 a.m. Is it?
Yes.
Great. come with me for your interview.
Thomas glances uncertainly at the meditating man opposite him, then at the receptionist, who's focused on her computer screen. Looking baffled, he tentatively gets up and allows James to show him out of the waiting room, which is overlooking Sydney Harbour, and down a corridor lined with offices.
Ωραία. Μοιράζομαι τώρα το link στο chat μαζί σας. I am sharing the link now. And feel free to ask any of what we are showing today. To conclude with what we do with Liminal, we also are doing research on how to create accessible works of art from the very beginning. Actually, our last research project called Liminal Space, which had to do with accessible and inclusive dramaturgy and theater making, it was the research project that even changed the way that we approach accessibility today. And I will go fast to the next step, and I would like to invite you all maybe to write down or note. First, I want to share this tandem, this phrase, which is usually, it's two words used together when we speak for art. It's inclusion and accessibility and inclusion, especially in Greece and in Cyprus, we always use them together. And sometimes I am afraid that we use them together because we cannot separate them. So I would like to invite you all to try to write down. There are no right or wrong answers. Feel free to write whatever comes to your mind. And I would like to invite you to have a line with inclusion, with the word inclusion, and another line with the word accessibility. And then try to answer to this easy and simple question for both words. The first question would be, what is inclusion and what is accessibility? The second question would be, for whom is inclusion and for whom is accessibility? And the third, the last question, it is, why is inclusion important? Why is access important? Why do we care? Why do we do webinars, masterclasses, workshops, discussions, panels, essays, research on these issues? Why do we care? So I repeat, it's what is inclusion and what is access, for whom is inclusion and for whom is access, and why is inclusion and why is access important to us. I think that 4 to 5 minutes, so it's enough. Try to write at least an answer to each question. And I'm sharing these questions also on the chat.
Christo, just
Ναι.
sorry, just a question from Olga.
Yes.
If I want to answer, I must write it down on the chat, or
No. You write it for yourself, and then I will invite some of you to share.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Try to conclude within the next minute, please. Okay. So who would like to share his or her answers, and maybe share if it was easy, if it was clear to separate these two words or find the answers for each question?
Maybe until someone feels comfortable, I can start.
Please.
I initially have to say, when I started writing, I was like, I know nothing. I feel that, I mean, on the one hand, it feels like the obvious questions that, oh, I know the answer of that. We have to include people with disabilities, but I don't know. I feel I have to think more about it, and I want to hear what everyone else has to say. But initially, on the subject of inclusion and accessibility, what are the differences? How I understand it is that initially with accessibility, I thought of it more as infrastructure and design-wise approach to making areas accessible to mainly people, to all people, like design elements that make people access a place easier. I thought of it more in physical situations rather than, I don't know, online or other types
No
of
content-wise, but let's say δομημένο περιβάλλον in Greek.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, that. And then inclusion, I was thinking of daily practices that and methods between people, like that enable anyone to effortlessly participate in daily activities. Even like being able to do sign language, or be aware that I have to describe some stuff, or I don't know, any other way of someone can access also information that I don't, that can become a daily practice. I'm not sure whether I should touch their questions. Maybe someone else wants to talk a bit more. I think I've talked too much.
Hello, Mirto. We also have Mirto, the second interpreter, with us today. Who else wants to share his or her answers? Yanni, you still have your hand raised?
I raised it once before. Do I have to unraise it somehow?
Yes.
Yes, but you are also invited to share your answers as well.
Oh, yes. I mean, I could try. Not an expert either, but I could try. So, yes, to me, access is how someone's gonna get somewhere, whether this is a place or something virtual like information or some material. And once we have the access, then inclusivity comes. Like, okay, so I gained access, but can I use this information, or can I be in this place independently? Or do I feel welcome and not accept? Yeah, do I feel welcome? Can I contribute? And if I can, to me, that's what inclusivity means. And for whom, I guess everyone has their own different needs. You don't have to have a disability in order to need stuff. So yeah, I don't know.
And why is it important? Did you wrote down any answers to this?
No, to be honest, but I guess it's important because we all, I don't know if I don't know. It's so familiar to me why everyone should have access and why everyone should feel included that I cannot even think of a valid reason. It's important because it's everyone's right to be welcome and accepted.
Thank you, Yannis.
Thank you.
Please, at least another one.
Maybe Maria George. Does anyone want to share?
No. So it's fine. Olga?
Yes, I would like to say something. I've been in the theater business for many years. I am an artist, and I have to say that I watch theater when it's mostly accessible, but most theaters aren't accessible to me. But I keep watching them because I think I have something to learn from them. But from my point of view, of course, inclusion is important and access is important. But when we talk about inclusion, we have to consider what we want. I mean, I want to be part of an environment of, I don't know, something that has only an interpreter in sign language. So I don't care about other disabilities. I mean, I am satisfied if there is an event that has access for me, with an interpreter, but has no access for other people with disabilities. So for me, it's very important to think about inclusion in terms of full access for everyone, I mean, with no exceptions.
Thank you, Olga. I think Yannis mentioned it. To begin with, both of these terms, let's say, are human rights. So it's not something